Welcome back, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. So this series, we're just going to do a little before and after as we go. So with this one, just an update since the last video. We fed it, it grew up into the light again, and so we adjusted our light, we watered it, and it again has stretched up and came pretty close to the light. A little uncomfortable for the plant, so we are rolling into our summer months. We do not have an AC to kind of help with the overall operational costs with our home growing and stuff like that, because a lot of people out there are also on a budget. I'm not the only one, and I know, not everyone has thousands of dollars to just drop into a grow and CO2 units, AC units, and then, the costs associated with that as well. So that being said, some of the things that we've done to help mitigate that heat is we've had to increase our airflow in the tent. So kind of like on a hot summer day, at least there's a bit of a breeze, but hot air is hot air. We are not really dealing with too much moisture. It's a little drier. So we can see that a little better, 45%, 26, and then up above, we're dealing with, again, pretty stable at 26 and 46% relative humidity. But in the early morning, this is getting as hot as 30 degrees Celsius. So around our mid 80s, low 90s in Fahrenheit. Off the top of my head, correct me if I'm wrong. So we'll take a look at some of this canoeing or talkwing that's going on. Because again, she kind of grew up pretty close to the light. We noticed this little guy here, when we had topped her, I kind of missed. So we might cut that out. We're gonna give her a haircut. She's a little on the dry side because we've been going 4 days, watering 3 days. Now we're kind of down to that 2.5. Just by taking a look at it, you can see a bit of separation around the rim. It's not always, you don't want to bet the farm, basically, just by eyeballing it. So I did check it with my finger, and she does need a feed or a water. We're going feed, water, feed. So with this one, but before we do, what I like to do, before I water it, if I have to remove any fan leaves and stuff like that, like some of this stuff we're gonna clean up and get out of here. We'll focus more so on the inside of our canopy, because we want that light kind of on the inside, and some of the outer stuff will leave. It's not really blocking anything, so why remove it? And again, whatever solar panels they is a good example that we remove. We make sure that we got plenty in place to replace that, so we're not stripping the whole thing too much. On top of that, we're going to remove some of this lower growth that keeps coming in, clean this up a little bit better. Show you guys here from the side. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to get her fed. So give her another feed. We'll check the calendar when that's all said and done. So I guess to add with the Mami, we'll come back to this one later on near the end of the video, and I'll catch everyone up to speed with what we've been doing since the last one, which hasn't really been too much, but you can see our progress so far. As this light in this tent keeps getting further away, we're going to have to rehome her and get her under a different light, more consistent environment, or at least light distance, because we don't want it to stretch too much. I like to kind of keep that light where it's at with that one. So we're gonna clean this up, and we'll see you guys after that's all said and done. Alright, and we're back. Pretty much 24 hours since the last part there. We ended up watering it, and then it was just 30 minutes before lights out, so I trimmed a handful off the top of the canopy. And if some of you will notice, I did come in here and I topped, or I cut off that top part. Or can we see that? Cut that off in those two families so we can get more light down in there. And cleaned it up a little bit more. So with this top half, I cleaned off, well, let's see, I left the fan leaves here to show you guys. I cleaned off some of these lower branches, like lower growth, and I literally took a handful of leaves, so nothing more, nothing less. So just all off the top there, and that's gonna help kind of slow down this these taller branches and give these lower ones a little bit more of a chance to kind of catch up, because we didn't remove any of the fan leaves from there. So I'm gonna come down below. You can see where we cleaned it up a little bit more. That stuff that was not gonna go anywhere, and some of the stuff that was starting to come in, and then the rest of it we kind of left because we're gonna try and push that up into the center of the canopy when we super crop it out. So there's where we're at. That's what she's looking like now. It's a few hours before lights out, so she's starting to relax, and she's starting to look like she's drying out already. So looks like we're going to be going into every 2 days, going to be watering it. And then once it goes to every day I have to water it, I'm going to just flip it to flower. I may or may not decide to like fill out this tent, but I am running low on nutrients, so we're going to try and stretch those nutrients out as far as we can and follow that water feed, hopefully without running into any deficiencies where we have to feed it a little bit more consistently. So, but I will spin her around, check it out on the other side. Why not? So this side's looking a little bit more dense. I might come in and take a few more out or tuck them. But within a couple hours she'll just set back up, so I don't got that kind of time, so I gotta trim what I can, you know, just selectively, just really keep an eye on what I'm keeping and what I'm taking out of there. So, but you'll notice this side is a little bit lower, so I did leave a little bit more growth, or a little bit more fan leaves on it, because I want this side to catch up with this side. So there's that. And then I guess I'll cover the Mami. We did give it a light feed of nutrients, and we just watered it just now before we shot our little video with just water. So that's gonna carry her through to the week, and we'll check back on that when we get it rehomed and everything like that. So we're gonna go take a look at the calendar and wrap this up. Alright, so this is where we stand right now. The first, we repotted it, topped it, defoiled it, gave it some microbes all in one day. The recovery was quick. The fourth, you can see we gave it more microbes. Seventh, we fed it its first dose of nutrients, and then we watered it on the 10th. The 13th, yesterday, we fed it and then gave it a defoliation or trimmed up some fan leaves, and today being the 14th, we just watered the Mami. So it's kind of where we stand right now. So just 2 weeks from transplanting from the one pot into the other. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. We'll see you guys next time with this monster crop, mint berry crunch, and the Mami. Thanks for tuning in.